Okay, we're looking at Excel Skill 1.11, entering simple formulas. Excel can organize your data into rows and columns, and that's just fine. But until you really start using the formulas and entering in calculations, you're not really taking advantage of the power of Excel. So I just want to show you just a few things, just real quick. If you want to do a calculation in Excel, anytime you put in a formula, you have to start with the equals sign. So press equals, and then I can do something like 50 plus 50. It'll do the calculation for me. You can see my formula is still 50 plus 50, and if I double click in here, I can edit that formula. Now this is a pretty basic formula. I could have easily just typed in 100, so no real point in that unless I just want to type it out without using a calculator or something if I had a more complex one. The real power is when I reference another cell in a calculation. So I go over here to C1, cell C1, and I say equals. I'm putting in a formula. Now instead of saying 50 plus 20 here, if I want to add these two cells, what I can do is I can click on cell A1, and it puts A1 in there. And I can say plus, and I can click on cell B1. Or instead of clicking on it, I could just type B1 in there. So now this is a formula that takes whatever's in cell A1 and adds to it whatever's in cell B1. Now I hit enter to put my formula in. Now it says 70. If I click on there, I can see my formula again. I double click there. Now it's basing that cell C1 on cells A1 and cells B1. So if I change this to 100, you can see cell C1 gets updated also. Now there's a number of different formulas built into Excel to do calculations for you. We'll get into some of those as we progress along through the Excel chapters. I'm just going to show you one here from your book. It's the average formula. So I type in, and you can see as I start typing, it gives me a number of different formulas that I can use. So I type in average, and average takes in a parameter. And this is what it uses to calculate the average. So I have to tell it what cells are my average. And to do that, I can click and drag through, and you can see it says cell A1 colon A3. That means all of the cells in that range, starting with A1 going to A3. I close that off with another parenthesis, hit enter. It gives me my average. I could do the same thing here, and you'll see that it would be 20. If I can spell average. And we're looking at cell B1 through B3. I could also double click in here. I could also average cells A1 through B3, and you can see as I'm in there, it's highlighted the cells that we're going to average. So let's see what cells A1 through B3 average out to, 32.5. That's basically entering in simple formulas. The key there is to reference the cells that have the values in them, so that when you update those cells, you'll update your formulas as well. We'll get into more detail on how to reference cells and all the different formulas as we go on. Your code word for this lesson is GOLD, G-O-L-D.